This occurred over at SDSU about 2.5 weeks ago. I just haven't had time to upload it to my camera, and I'm sorry you can't see me, but it's early in the morning, and this guy was trying to accuse me of being too loud and threatened to call security. I told him to go ahead and call security. I told him, I don't know what your problem is, buddy, and I don't care. And then when I went to go get up, he kept talking to me, saying, thank you for not being loud, after he threatened to call security. And I just basically said, look, buddy, I don't know what you're talking about, and I could care less. You can barely hear him talk, but he'll, you know, I'm still going to transfer it. This is me sending out the computer the clicks. Talking to me. Well, I don't even know you.
Who are you?
Pardon me?
Who are you? I was thinking
I don't know what you're talking about. The reason why I said I don't know what you're talking about is because they're staging these incidences over at SCSU, and I'm sure they're going to eventually stage them over at UCSC. Even today they might. In reference to, they get people to sit around me at computer stations, or if they see that I'm on my way to SDSU, they know I go to there to use the computers. So what they'll do is literally stage somebody or to be at the computer stations, okay? And then I'll get online, and then they'll accuse me of being too loud, like when I'm getting my stuff out to prepare to, like my headphones and my eyeglasses and stuff. And then they'll accuse me of being too loud and threaten to call security, okay? And right before they do this, they gaslight me with physical gestures. That goes to show you the audacity, and that's done for frustration purposes and provocation purposes. Then what they'll do is try to get, and then they'll try to get me sucked into dialogue, as in reference to what they'll eventually say again, okay? And that's all done in order to be able to videotape my responses, because there's a surveillance camera right on the ceiling, practically right above us, okay? And this is all about provoking me, or trying to at least possibly videotape my responses to things and then streamline them in reference to future events that I might have with police officers at police stations or county mental health that I've already been threatened to with by the San Diego Police Department. Barney Olson, San Diego Eastern Division. Yeah, when I brought to his attention that the video MTS sent me was altered, and he said, well, I looked at it, didn't appear to be altered to me. They were totally and 100% involved in this assault from behind the scenes. They staged it. They let the guy get away because it was staged. And then they had the audacity to fake an arrest on November 11th and then backtracked on that once they discovered the MTS video they sent me was on the CD-ROM, got broken, okay? And so that bought them some more time until I got a hold of the next one, so they backtracked on the reason why they made a false arrest. I haven't made much of videos about that yet. But the point I'm trying to make is this, is that in organized stalking expeditions, what they'll do is stage provocations and small incidences, and even large ones, in order to be able to get, because since these are staged incidences, they also stage people in the environment that's right by where the incident is happening. And what they'll do is they have them whip out their cell phone or a mini video camera, okay, including possible, I forgot what it's called, DBH or something like that. These little mini cameras and cell phone cameras. And what they're doing is they're literally using cell phones and these types of cameras to literally videotape and audio tape targets' replies to the provocations, which can be small on scale, medium on scale, or large on scale. They will then, in turn, take these videos and audio files and streamline them into separate events that a target might have at a later date based on another event that they brought about. And as a result, the target will find themselves in interreactions between police, and or possible meeting with a psychiatrist as a result of the police either threatening to send them to a psychiatrist through county mental health or actually petitioning them into the hospital. Now, this is where it gets a little bit touchy. You can go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. It's a manifesto of a gang stalker, a manager of gang stalking crews. It's nothing but organized crime. Organized stalking that is implemented by organized crime members in the system, police officers, firefighters, and I've already made a lot of videos concerning this. You can go to YouTube and type in organized stalking, Leslie Williams, the Informer report. There's 2 of those videos you can view, and you can also view the rest of the videos that are in the Organized Stalking 3 YouTube channel. Now, the point I'm trying to make is what they'll do, and you can literally even Google this about how, go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking, taping conversations of targets. Yeah, because they streamline them into either audio sections or video sections that a target will have at a later date with either police officers, doctors, or psychiatrists, and try to make it appear that the response to the incident was an actual response to questions that these type of individuals have asked them in order to be able to prove that the target is combative or mentally ill or crazy or out of control and might be a hurt to themselves or others. This is literally the type of schemes they use. Understand this and be clear. This is organized crime in the system, and when you got an extreme whistleblower like me, in which I am, these people will go to any lengths, literally, to cover their ass and to discredit me, to contain me, to continue to try to make money off the exploiting of my finances and my insurance, okay? Because that's what this is all about, and to exploit me sexually, okay? This is nothing but organized crime in the system. And if you don't think that these people will not go to the lengths to do these things, understand this and be clear. They will. I was just literally hearing on Coco just this last week. It was either just this week, it's July 5th right now, or the end of last week on Coco, which is a news station, news radio broadcast in San Diego, California. And the broadcast is on between 6 and 9 a.m. every morning. And you can go to Coco, their webpage, and literally listen to previous broadcasts. And on it, they talked about how that school bus monitor was harassed by a bunch of students. And then they talked about it. And then they had people call in and give their opinion concerning it. Now, I had already made videos in reference to how these organized stalking expeditions will provoke incidences and then get people to tape the response to the incident, which is nothing but deliberate staged provocations, harassments, intense harassments that are so provocative to where the target believes they're literally going to be assaulted. They literally have people walk right up to a target and threaten them physically while acting extremely hyper and agitated, and to make a target fearful something's going to happen, okay? And on this radio broadcast, they had people call in to give their comments about what happened as a result of this bus monitor being bullied in a vicious way by 4 teenagers for way over 10 to 15 minutes. And one guy called in, and he literally said, now I was already making videos about how these organized stalking expeditions will videotape your response to provocations and audio tape it too. Well, this guy called in on the Radio Coco broadcast concerning this bus monitor being harassed by 4 students endlessly for 15 minutes. And he said, this one guy that called in said that he was wondering if this provocation and this bullying towards the school bus monitor was done deliberately so they could provoke her and then videotape her acting out against the provocations of being bullied. He literally called up and said that, and I got it on audio file. I just don't have it actually selected right now on my digital tape recorder. But you could probably go to Coco and find that news broadcast. And if that guy had the wherewithal to be able to deliberate that these students might be setting her up and videotaping it because the actual bullying got videotaped. So he was wondering if this was staged and they were just using one of the teenagers to videotape to see if she would respond to it and then try and get her fired as a result. Okay? Understand this and be clear. If you don't think that And I'm going to tell you another thing right now. Believe it or not, organized stalking expeditions are even using children, okay, at the high school level, the junior high school level, and at the college level. You can go to Google right now and type in organized stalking space universities, and you'll get 7,600,000 responses. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and eventually I'm going to upload that because I was taping that Coco thing because they were talking about the bus monitor thing, and organized stalking is nothing but bullying on steroids. In fact, you can go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids and see that it was covered up by the Chula Vista Police in February 2011, and they named that video title. It was a YouTube video of that actual news broadcast. And you can literally see that they labeled that video as gang stalking bullying on steroids because that's all it is. It's nothing but extreme bullying on steroids delivered through electronic harassment and the organized stalking, and then all the crimes that happen towards a target. Everything from intimidation to vicious assaults, vicious physical assaults to even rape. And that's not including the electronic harassment and then how a target is set up and brutalized for years on end every single day, throughout each day, every single week, every single month, every single year, year after year after year. It's nothing but a campaign set up by the system because it's organized crime within the system. And my name is Leslie Williams. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be filtering through a lot of digital audio files here in the next 2 days. And I know I'm going to find that because I just taped it from Coco. When I heard they were covering the bus monitor thing, I decided to turn on my digital tape recorder and tape the responses concerning it. And I couldn't believe a guy called up and said that because I was already making videos about them literally taping my responses to the extreme provocations along my routes. And he said that, and I thought, yeah, that's validation that I'm not the only one that's saying this, even though it's already all over the internet that organized stalking campaigns do videotape and audio tape your responses to the provocations to try and set you up by streamlining your responses into other meetings that you might have at future dates based on future incidences they literally bring about towards you. And if you read the manifesto, you can clearly see that police officers and doctors, including psychiatrists, are deeply involved in these expeditions because it's about racketeering where they bilk the target's Medicare. Yeah, that's why they petition them in the hospitals, and that's why they try and break them down to call 911 to bilk the Medicare out of thousands and thousands of dollars while discrediting the target with false mental diagnoses. And that's done for 2 reasons: to make it look like the Medicare bilking was legitimate, and to use accumulated documentation over time to contain the target in an organized crime, syndicated run group home. And that's where they take over the target's monthly paycheck, their Social Security. That's where they continue to bilk the Medicare through staged incidences in these homes, and that's where they also sexually exploit them. And they're also involved in research. I suggest that you go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know, and you will literally see that everything I'm stating to you and the type of people involved are directly described in this manifesto. So make sure over the next week, 10 days, you look in the comments feature of this one, and you'll literally hear that Coco broadcast. And you can also research also on Google organized stalking or gang stalking tape conversations of targets. And you'll clearly see it's one of their methods and tactics. I gotta go. Today's date is July 5th, 2012. My name is Leslie Williams, and I'm a target of organized stalking, gang stalking in San Diego, California. And I want my fellow Americans and fellow San Diegans to know that they have got the business community involved in this as well as a result of them using the community notification. They literally had the audacity last night to bring the individual that assaulted me on the MTS bus on October 10th, 2011, into Ralph's grocery store last night and had him walk through the aisles that I always go through to get my needs met. You know, because I go in there to buy potato chips for lunch, and when I run out, I'll buy some more. And they literally had him in there. And I'm going to make a video concerning that, and it'll eventually be attached in the YouTube comments feature of this one. And that was going to be a staged incident. They were hoping to bring about a staged incident, probably hoping that I'd get out my video camera and take a picture of him. He tried to lead me to the back of the store, and hoping I'd take a video picture of him and then assault me again, or at least make an accusation, okay? Because the police have already let him get away twice now. Twice, because they were directly involved in a staged attack on the MTS bus. To understand that, go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Brutally Assaulted on MTS Bus," and then make sure you look in the comments feature of that video meticulously, because you will literally be able to see that I predicted 11 days before that I would be brutally assaulted as a result of preparing to contact Barbara Boxer's office. And in that email file, which is printed and scanned, enclosed in a blog URL, and in that blog is the PDF link of the printed and scanned email. And it literally shows me stating I'd be assaulted either walking, riding my bike, or on public transportation. And 11 days later, I was brutally assaulted on public transportation, the MTS bus that I was taking every single day. And then MTS sent me a video that was altered. Okay, they don't have a problem sending me a video, but they altered the video. And why was that? Because MTS was directly involved in this staged attack. Okay, now I was already writing blogs before this assault about how I was being gang stalked and subject to 2 organized stalking tactics by bus drivers and by passengers on this bus route. Okay, now and the reason why I made an email file about that, there was a great likelihood I'd be assaulted. See, because they were engaged in cyber surveillance, which is a direct method of organized stalking over at USD, where I was being gang stalked on a feverish scale. Now understand this and be clear. Hang on a second. Understand this and be clear as well. On August 17, 2011, I was brutally attacked at a bus stop 9 days after I got here. Okay, and that was as a result of me blogging feverishly between August 8th, 2011 and August 17th about what was happening to me in that current calendar month here in San Diego. So they had me brutally assaulted at an MTS bus stop. Okay, and so what I did from August up until October was I was still blogging feverishly about what was still happening to me every single day, making videos and uploading them as of December, because I finally discovered I could buy a data reader writer at Walmart. Okay, and then I started preparing to go to Barbara Boxer's office to expose the crime that happened to me here, just since I've been here since August, the crime that happened to me in 2006, and what happened to me in Michigan, because the Department of Education was involved in that, and so was universities that played a direct role in the connection with the Department of Education in the organized stalking in 2 states now, California and Michigan, extensively in Michigan at U of M and Henry Ford Community College. So I was printing out the privacy consent form from her website and preparing a letter to either fax to her, mail to her, or take down to her that was going to accompany the privacy consent form. As a result, her office would have been given permission to investigate the Department of Education and 2 separate universities, USD, and actually 3, SDSU and the University of Michigan. They in turn, through cyber surveillance, were scrutinizing what I was doing. And since I had already been assaulted on August 17th, I went and made an email file because I knew that they were going to react to it one way or another. Okay, and a professor over at USD, Eric Pearson, who's a professor in communications who specializes in videos and images, he uploaded the first video that MTS sent me that was altered. I took out a video camera and took a video picture of some still frames of when I noticed how the video was altered. Okay, I stopped the video and then took a video picture of that and uploaded it to YouTube. He saw them and uploaded it to USD's newsletter, First Post. Okay, my name is Leslie Williams, and he's a professor in communications who specializes in videos and images. So they seen this was getting out, and so the only thing that they decided to do was and so I was saying earlier in this video so what they decided to do was have me assaulted as a result of me preparing for intimidation purposes on the MTS bus as a result of me preparing to go down to Barbara Boxer's office. Now, earlier in this video, I made a statement about how Barney Olson over at the Eastern Division was threatening to put, through a veiled threat to, he was at least attempting to call me delusional, okay, which is a gang stalking tactic, okay, because I was pointing out to him, okay, I think it was in February or March when I went down to talk to him, that the USD professor posted the first video MTS sent me of the assault because he noticed that it was altered. And he said, "Leslie, you must be delusional." He literally flat out said it. And that conversation with him was digitally tape recorded by me and uploaded to a video. Alright, I gotta go. This is nothing but a tidbit file in reference to you understanding certain aspects of what's happening towards me in San Diego. My name is Leslie Williams. I am literally being subject to organized gang stalking tactics along all of my routes. Okay, and their goal is to call me crazy for knowing it, because that's how they've falsified the documentation to contain you. By calling you delusional, paranoid schizophrenic, bipolar, anything, dementia, anything that they can do to make it look like they have a legal appearing reason to take legal custody of you through the state, because it's organized crime in the system. They then place you in a group home that's set up through organized crime by them buying HUD houses through Department of Housing, okay, which is downtown as well. And what they do is do nothing but try to fill up these HUD homes that they buy, and they hunt after people on disability. And that's what I am, on disability. My name is Leslie Williams. I gotta go. Today's date is July 5th, 2012.